All right, I think I'm finally ready to talk about this. I've been processing and healing for a couple months, and I'm really feeling like I think I can finally tell this story, get it out of me, let it go to the universe, and be done with it. So, what happened with my most recent ex in our final breakup? With this person, we were constantly on and off. I think we must have broken up and gotten back together 8 times. That alone should have told me enough. I had done that one other time with another partner in my life. I did it a little bit in my 20s, but in my 30s I met a guy who we were on and off, and I'm like, okay, I'm never doing this. I'm never going to be in another relationship that's on and off until I met this guy. I gave him so much grace and so many retries because I had so much invested. And I really thought I could help him heal. I really, really, really did. And I thought eventually we would have a really, really good relationship. But that's just not how it happened. So here it goes. About the 6th time we got back together, it was back in February. And I said, okay, if we're going to get back together, you really need to take this serious and you need to marry me. And he agreed. He was going to come back. He was going to marry me. And a couple days before Valentine's Day, we started looking for rings together. And we picked out a ring, and he ordered it. And it was a beautiful ring. I was really excited to get it. And we were promising to spend Valentine's together, because previously we had always been broken up during every holiday. The whole year we knew each other, we were broken up for every single holiday. And I promised him, and he promised me, that we were going to spend holidays together. Every holiday coming up, we were going to spend together. We weren't going to spend another holiday apart. Well, come Valentine's Day, he got sick, which is understandable. Stuff like that can happen. We'd had this great date night planned with my son. We were going to go out to eat. We made reservations. It was going to be a great night. And then he fell sick. I'm like, okay. I told him earlier in the day, if you want to go, that's okay, but I really want you to stay. And if we need to cancel our dinner plans, we'll cancel. I'd rather us spend it together, and be together rather than be apart. Well, he decided to leave Valentine's afternoon. And I was crushed. I was really, really, really crushed. And I'm like, we made this promise. We weren't going to spend any more holidays apart. I ended up crying all that night. I still went out with my son. My son ensured that I had a good night. He gave me lots of hugs, and he even said to me, Mom, I'm better than him. I'm like, yeah, okay. I know you are, honey, and I love you so much. And I was so grateful for my son that night. My 14-year-old son carried me through that night. And he shouldn't have had to. And the following couple days, I just had this sinking feeling, that didn't think he was being honest with me. I think he left because he didn't have the money to pay for dinner, or I just didn't feel good. We didn't work through all of our prior breakups. We didn't work through any of our issues. And I just felt like everything was unsettled, especially how he left. So I decided to break it off again. No, what he first said is, when I get the ring, I can just put it on. And that really rubbed me wrong. I'm like, you just got to get out of this relationship. This guy doesn't value you. He doesn't really appreciate you. Just end it. Just stop getting back together. This is really toxic. This isn't healthy. He's already shown you how much he doesn't care for you. He's never taken you on a real date. Valentine's was supposed to be our first real date together. And so I decided to break things off. And I told him if he wanted to, he could cancel the ring. But he promised he wasn't going to cancel the ring. He said, if you send it back to me, I'm just going to send it back to you. So the next following days, I missed him. I longed for him. I felt really bad for breaking things off. And I kept looking for the ring. I looked for the ring every single day. Well, the ring never came. And so I finally contacted the jeweler. And the jeweler had told me that he had canceled it. I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, he's showing me who he is. That he doesn't keep his word. He hasn't kept his word since I met him. He said he wasn't going to cancel the ring. He canceled the ring. Okay, well, how much more signs do you need, Stefania? You don't belong with this man. So I let it go. I didn't talk to him again for weeks and weeks. And then I eventually got some weird emails from him, which broke my trying to not contact him. I ended up reading his emails, and we started talking again. Everything started all over. This was in March. So in March, we agreed to see each other. We were going to try again. And we had made another promise, so we weren't going to spend any more holidays apart. It was St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, he finally took me out on a date. Finally, it was really nice at first. And this has bugged me ever since. I don't eat meat, and he's known this since he's met me, that I don't eat meat. I've been vegetarian for a really long time. I'm an animal activist, and I really care about our planet. I don't like how factory farming does to our planet. So on our date, he offered me some of his chicken, and I said no. But that really, we had such a perfect date up to that point. And I don't know, I'll never understand why he offered me his chicken when he knows I don't eat meat. And, well, we got back to my house that night, and we were talking about, whether we still wanted to marry. And I showed him the ring on my finger. Because when he canceled that ring, I was so distraught. And I promised myself I was never going to let something like this happen to me again. I ordered my own ring. And on the inside of my ring, I have it engraved with a reminder for myself to never again let a man treat me with the disrespect and disregard that he had treated me and, some of my partners before him. So I showed him the ring. I'm like, this is what I did. I got this ring because you canceled my ring. And he acted all upset, because I had this ring. And I'm like, if you decide to still get me a ring, I want you to know you're not going to be replacing this ring. You're going to be adding to it. And you have to understand that I expect you to treat me really well. Well, he understood, and that next morning, he went back to his home. We left in really good, I think that's the best we ever left each other. We were so both happy. Until the next morning. The next morning, I started thinking about stuff, and because he told me when he canceled the ring, he told me he didn't get the money back. That he told the jeweler to not refund his money. He didn't care about the money. He didn't want the money. And I'm like, this just feels... I woke up that morning, I'm like, something just feels wrong about this. Something, again, feels wrong about this whole thing. So I contacted the jeweler again. I'm like, my boyfriend said when he canceled my ring, he asked you not to give the money back. Can you give me any evidence that he didn't get the money back and that he asked you not to give the money back? Well, the jeweler sent me the receipt of the refund. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he lied to me. It didn't even have to lie. It was such a stupid lie. And on us getting back together, I made him promise me no more lies, and that he was going to tell me the truth about everything. The truth had to come out about everything. So I'm like, gosh, he just can't. He just can't. So I talked to him that morning, and I'm like, listen, I called the jeweler, and they told me that they did refund your money. He's like, well, my bank account was compromised. I didn't get the refund. I've got to now go and secure my bank. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just more lies, isn't it? And I'm like, I don't believe you. I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. And he's like, I can't be your torture. I'm like, okay. So at that moment, I decided to block him. I'm like, Stefania, you've got to follow your gut this time. You didn't with the ex before him, and you really got played hard. And I'm like, this time you've got to follow through. Your gut's been screaming at you for months about this guy. Just block him. Be done with this forever. Okay, so it was over, right? It was over. And then I started missing him again. And I had already told him before this that he had trauma bonded me because he had threatened to jump off a bridge at one of our breakups. And ever since then, I wasn't able to leave, even though I knew I was supposed to leave this man. And I'm like, you're trauma bonded to this guy. That's why you're missing him. And then we ended up talking again. Well, this time we didn't reconcile. He acted like he was going to. We were talking about some of our issues, and then he just switched up like that. And he started talking really mean to me. He really started discarding me. I had never heard him talk to me that mean. He was calling me disgusting, and that he was like a rabid dog and attacking back. And I'm like, I had never seen him that cruel. And I told him, I'm like, you trauma bonded me. You're right. We shouldn't be together. Never contact me again. And help me with this. Help me break this trauma bond and never contact me again. And that's the last we talked. So it's been quite the journey. I finally feel like the trauma bond is broken, and I'm dating someone new now, and I'm really happy. I feel at peace. I don't feel like I had this constant torment from missing him, and I'm like, it's finally gone, and it's just such a good feeling. I'm now really, really grateful that he broke my heart, because now I feel like I'm really strong. I really understand now what I deserve, and I'm never going to let anyone treat me like that again and claim that I'm their person and that we're going to be married and that we are meant to be together. And I'm never going to let anyone get into my head like that and screw me up in that way where I'm so stuck on them I can't leave. So yeah, that's the story. There's so many parts that are missing, but yeah, that's kind of what happened. You know, it's trauma bonds are real. And they can really mess you up if you don't go no contact and completely just not see these people anymore, because they will constantly get into your head and constantly do a push and pull, treat you bad, treat you good, and mess your head up so much it's so hard to leave them. So I understand a lot more about psychology than I ever thought I needed to, and these toxic relationship and dynamics and how they work, but I do now. And now I can help other people and help them understand what's happening in their life when something like this is happening. So yeah, that's the story of my final toxic ex. And now I'm on and ready for the truest love I've ever had in my life. And I'm really excited for this chapter. And yeah, I don't know what's coming, but that's part of the excitement. So, alright, Phoenixes, don't let anyone trauma bond you, and always be good to yourself, trust your gut, and love yourself fiercely, because that's what's going to protect you in the end. Alright, love yous. Keep rising. Bye.